This is the Omaha News, presented by the School of Communication at the University of Nebraska at Omaha, from the studios of UNO Television.
Hello, I'm Jackie Scarda.
And I'm Lasagna Hart. Welcome to the Omaha News. Thanks for joining us.
With the elections coming up, we'll take a look at the issues as well as the candidates. More on that in a minute.
Condoleezza Rice held a press conference at the Durham Research Center. We'll take a look at Rice's connection with cancer. Mayor Jim Suttle faces possible removal from office.
Joining us live is Omaha News reporter Ben Bohall.
Thanks, Jackie and Lasagna. I'm here at Petro's, one of over 25 restaurants in Omaha that have aligned themselves with the Mayor Suttle recall campaign. Recently, the campaign picked up several boxes of petition forms from the Election Commission office with the hope of obtaining enough signatures to recall the mayor.
Like, it's about time. Yeah, they just want to have they want to have the petitions finally signed. I think they're all really excited that we're finally to that point.
The straw had finally broke the camel's back, as Jeremy Aspen and volunteers of the Mayor Suttle recall campaign picked up box upon box of petition forms at the Election Commission office. The message was loud and clear.
We just don't feel that he's listening to the people that he is supposed to be serving. And it's time, I think, for new leadership for Omaha.
With a need for nearly 27,000 signatures and several campaigns now surfacing to keep the mayor in office, the road ahead for the Mayor Suttle recall campaign could be a long one.
Despite the opposition and tough odds, members are remaining both optimistic and confident that victory is on the horizon, even if it might be a bittersweet one.
I wish it didn't have to happen, but at least now he's starting to listen to us.
Now, if the campaign is successful and the mayor is recalled, we could be looking at a special election next spring. Unfortunately, Mayor Suttle's office was unable to be reached for comment. Now I'm going to finish my chili burger over here. Sonia and Jackie, back to you.
Thanks, Ben. That was Ben Bohall reporting live for the Omaha News. The race between Democrat Tom White and Republican Lee Terry is a close one according to pre-election polls. 44% of registered voters said they would vote for Terry, while 39% sided with White. White is running for what could be his first time in Congress, while six-term Congressman Terry attempts to keep his seat.
The race to represent Nebraska's 2nd Congressional District is heating up. Adam Hilt has more on a recent debate between Tom White and Lee Terry.
Last week, the Omaha Press Club, at the top of the old First National Bank Tower, became the epicenter for local politics, in a debate held between congressional candidates Tom White and Lee Terry. The two sparred over the economy and jobs, the areas which most voters are concerned with as the November 2nd elections draw near.
You can't just dump the federal or the state budget onto property tax owners, and we oppose that.
Both also use partisan rhetoric that has become so popular in Washington over the past few months.
And what we have found is that stimulus package has been a complete failure. It has been a complete failure. It's been an example of the wasteful, frivolous spending that has now become inherent to Washington, D.C. under this congressional leadership, and it's something my opponent supports.
Throughout the debate, though, there seemed to be one central theme running through both candidates' minds.
Budget. Took the world's largest budget. We were looking at paying off the national debt.
Certainly the sheer number of people at the Omaha Press Club today gives clues to how popular the November 2nd elections are becoming. Certainly Tom White and Lee Terry hope that translates into votes. For the Omaha News, I'm Adam Hilt.
With the elections this year, Omaha residents will also have the opportunity to vote for judges in the courthouse. The website nebar.com has opinions of prosecutors and defense attorneys in terms of what judge is doing an exceptional job. To learn more about the judges up for re-election, visit nebar.com or eyeonthebench.com.
UNMC had their Ambassador of Hope Gala this week. The recipient of this award is joining 6 others that have a close connection with cancer. Here's Melissa Ballerin with more.
Former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice made a visit to Omaha as part of her book tour and to accept the Ambassador of Hope Award from UNMC. Part of Dr. Rice's visit to Omaha included a tour of the Durham Research Center and some of the research labs to see how UNMC is advancing cancer research. A press conference was held on Tuesday morning at the Durham Science Center at UNMC to discuss the importance of the research. Other speakers at the conference included Director of the UNMC Cancer Center, Dr. Ken Cowan, and the UNMC Chancellor, Dr. Harold Maurer. Dr. Rice's mother was diagnosed with breast cancer when Rice was only 15. Since then, Rice has been a strong advocate to advancing cancer research.
There are things that can be done, and there are people who are working tirelessly to improve the chances of survival.
Tuesday evening, Rice accepted the Ambassador of Hope Award and had a book signing of her recent memoir, Extraordinary Ordinary People. For the Omaha News, I'm Melissa Ballerin.
Dr. Rice was the 6th person to receive the award.
Halloween's around the corner. Check out the latest vampire craze and how that's impacted kids. More on that later.
We'll also be talking to Joe Jordan of Nebraska Watchdog to talk about the upcoming elections. You're watching the Omaha News on the Knowledge Network.
Big Red Wrap-Up brings you inside the game of Husker football. Join me, Kevin Kugler, and Adrian Fiala for Nebraska's only statewide sports program. We'll have analysis and highlights of Husker football games and talk with special guests. Plus, Huskers Illustrated's Sean Callahan will be on hand to discuss potential Husker recruits. Don't miss Big Red Wrap-Up. Tuesday night at 7 Central on NET1 and in high definition on NET HD.
Most local television news only gives you brief headlines about issues that may be important to you. But for more than 10 years, only one program has remained dedicated to examining all the information about issues that really matter to Nebraskans. I'm Kathy Wyatt, and it's my privilege to present those issues for your consideration. Join me on the campus of UNO in a program we call Consider This, every week on NET1.
Friday nights, NET brings you public affairs coverage. Starting at 7, watch outstanding local documentaries from NET Television. Get the latest news from the nation's capital at 8 Central with Washington Week in Review. Then at 8:30, Your Need to Know. Followed at 9:30 Central with international news from BBC Newsnight. You can always stay informed by watching NET1 and NET HD Friday nights beginning at 7 Central.
UNO Television.
Students work with professionals who have all kinds of experience in the industry.
Lights, camera, action. Literally.
Get paid while you learn more about the TV business.
Work on all kinds of productions.
My friends who worked on TV crew last semester are now working part-time at local stations.
Working on TV crew is a great experience.
UNO Television. Student crew, professional staff, award-winning results.
You're watching the Omaha News.
The midterm elections are just days away, so what does your vote mean? That's the question we'll be answering on November 2nd. Joining us today is Joe Jordan. Thanks for joining us, Joe.
It's nice to see you.
Thanks. And our first question is about the two top Nebraska races, which is the governor's seat and the District 2. Can you tell us some projections about what the polls look like for governor's seat?
Well, the governor's race is probably pretty much over. Incumbent Dave Heineman, very popular. The last poll I saw had him up by about 40 points over Democrat Mike Meister. Add to that the fact that Heineman's had about $1.5 million to spend. Meister's had very little, got into the race very late because there was a problem with the previous Democratic candidate for governor. So this has been all falling Heineman's way, and I don't think I'm not even sure Mike Meister thinks he can win on election night.
Okay. And can you tell me a little bit of how close the race is between Tom White and Lee Terry?
Well, as your poll noted at the beginning, it's a 5-point race, and that matters especially because of the fact that Terry comes in at 44%. He's the incumbent for 6 terms, 12 years. Anytime the incumbent especially is below 50% in the polls with a week or two to go, that's dangerous for the incumbent. Because for the most part, voters in this district know Lee Terry. They've already made an opinion about him, and he's struggling at this point to get to 50%, which of course is what you need to win. So the general consensus right now is that Tom White's in pretty good shape. I've been saying for quite some time what White needs to win in this race is a big, strong turnout on election night, especially from the Democratic core, labor, the minority groups. If he gets that, he can make this competitive and might even be able to push Terry out.
Okay. And with all elections, the political profile of Congress could change. Can you tell us a little bit of how that'll look on the national level?
Well, I think the general expectation is, on the one hand, that the Democrats will lose control of the House of Representatives. Right now, Republicans need 39 seats to gain control, and some projections, depending on which services you're looking at, indicate anywhere from 45 to 55 seats going to the Republicans. So, barring some last-minute strange development here, Republicans probably get the House. It doesn't appear right now that they get the Senate, although what's probably going to happen is they'll pick up 7 or 8 seats, and in the end you'll have maybe 52 Democrats, 48 Republicans. And what that means for the country over the next 2 years is probably a pretty good case of gridlock, where the House Republicans can pass something, but it won't get through the Senate, certainly wouldn't get past the president, he'd have the veto power, and Republicans in the Senate wouldn't be able to override. So I think for the next couple of years, unless these groups get together, and they haven't shown that proclivity just yet, unless they get together, we've got a couple of years of a stalemate in Washington trying to get things done.
Okay. And lastly, can you tell us a little bit about the Tea Party and how that might be affected by the midterm elections?
Well, they've certainly changed the dynamic. All those Tea Party advocates have changed the way we look at politics right now, because for the most part, these are people without much experience, in the mainstream political world, and they've changed everything, and largely responsible for what most believe will be this Republican takeover at the polls. What's really going to be fascinating, I think, is after Election Day, after January, when those Tea Party candidates are now Tea Party elected officials, what they do. Will they push against their own Republican Party people? How far are they going to go to get their points across? I think that's going to be the fascinating part of that.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Joe.
Thank you.
And we will have full election coverage on Tuesday, November 2nd, beginning at 7:30. Omaha News reporters will be live with the candidates in Nebraska's 2nd District race and for governor. The coverage will air live on NET2 on Channel 16 on Cox Cable.
A recent increase in crime in the Old Market has Omaha residents nervous, but police say there's nothing to worry about. More on that after the break.
After burning down earlier this year, the Bagel Bin plans to open its doors later this year. You're watching the Omaha News on the Knowledge Network.
NET is important to the Nebraska Emergency Management Agency and the entire state of Nebraska because we can get vital information out to the public in a time of emergency. We've had flooding in as many as 64 counties out of 93 in the state. We've done some news conferences.
Extensive flooding.
NET has set up a system on their website to get information on the flooding throughout the state. We are able to work together in one place and get one message out to the public so that we can make sure people are safe. First of all, your technology here is amazing, but I don't see how we could have done this without NET.
When we say digital television, what does that mean? For one thing, it means more NET channels for you to enjoy.
Is nothing, Willa Cather said.
On NET1 and NET HD, you can watch Nebraska high school and college sports, PBS programs, and award-winning documentaries. NET2 is PBS World, hard-hitting news and public affairs programs, science, history, and more. NET3 is Create, and just what the title implies, there are programs about arts and crafts, gardening, cooking, and travel. You can get these channels over the air with your digital receiver or digital converter box, or through cable and satellite providers. For more information, visit our website, netnebraska.org.
You're watching the Omaha News.
There's been a spike in Old Market crime. Police are taking extra precautions in the downtown area. As Jessica DeCesare reports, police are assuring residents that things are being done to clean up the streets.
Lately, there have been several shootings, robberies, and acts of violence occurring in the Old Market. This includes 2 shootings at Cubby's, located on 13th and Jackson. These recent activities have cautioned residents and Old Market business patrons. Taylor Fleming works in the Old Market and says that she has been recently robbed. She says a homeless man walked in to use the bathroom, but attempted to rob her stockroom.
I called 911 and they were busy both times, so I ran next door and to get help, and when I came back he was at the front door and we started playing tug of war back and forth, and so then eventually I locked him in and the cops came, or the police came and arrested him.
Omaha police have said there is no reason to feel unsafe in the Old Market or in other parts of Omaha. Michael Pekka, Public Information Officer, explains how the police department is attacking this problem.
The beat patrol officers I mentioned, they may be patrolling on foot, they can patrol on bike, or in the colder months they sometimes will go back to a police cruiser to patrol. However, even if they're in that cruiser, they are focused strictly on the Old Market and the riverfront area. Because of that, we do have a heavier police presence in the Old Market compared to a lot of other areas of the town.
The Omaha Police Department says that overall Omaha is still a safe city compared to others. For the Omaha News, I'm Jessica DeCesare.
Police say if you see a crime being committed, call the authorities, but do not try to take the law into your own hands.
A devastating fire destroyed a local bakery in Omaha last winter. Now, after nearly a year of rebuilding, the owners are about to reopen. Construction is winding down at the Bagel Bin as the Brezak family prepares for its reopening. The bakery, which boasts a New York-style bagel and kosher menu, burned down January 7th after an issue with the natural gas. Large amounts of snow last winter prevented firefighters from finding a hydrant like this one here, just across the street from the bakery. As a result, the building was destroyed. Sue Brezak, who co-owns the bakery with her sons Dave and Scott, says the fire was a tragedy, but the family welcomed the new equipment. They also were able to rearrange the layout of the bakery to add more space for customers. Even with the new changes, Brezak says there is no difference in the Bagel Bin atmosphere.
The camaraderie is still going to be the same. It's still going to be, people call it kind of like the cheers of Omaha.
Loyal Bagel Bin customers like Matt Blodgett can't wait to return to the bakery.
I know I'm definitely not the only one that's really anxious for them to be open again, and it'll be nice to enjoy an everything bagel from the Bagel Bin once again.
Recent issues with codes have pushed back the November 1st reopen date to an unofficial date in the near future. But the Brezak family reports that they are working tirelessly to open as soon as possible. Even though the Brezaks don't have a new reopen date, they invite their customers to come take a look at their work at the bakery. For more information on their business, you can visit their website at bagelbin.com.
Omaha welcomes an environmentally friendly hotel in the city. The Element Hotel, located near 33rd and Farnham, will be the first LEED certified hotel in Omaha. The building is made up of mostly recycled material with oversized windows in each room to be used for natural light. Keypads installed in the room will be used to control how much electricity is used. The building will open its doors to guests on November 4th.
2 student organizations take fun, creative measures to donate canned goods to the less fortunate for the holidays. As Felicia Messady reports, these activities will put food on the table of those less fortunate.
What started out as a suggestive idea for a simple dodgeball game between 2 organizations quickly turned into a social community service event for UNO's campus. The Asian Student Association and Sigma Lambda Beta fraternity joined forces to organize the Dodge for Cause tournament, an event created to assist in collecting canned goods to contribute to a local food bank. ASA President Joe Marcel Nguyen says the event will help those who are less fortunate.
We centered this around, since it's almost Thanksgiving, we know, and some of us know that the food bank always runs low on food around Thanksgiving, so we thought that why don't we charge them an admission to play. So we decided, hey, donate 2 cans of food to come play dodgeball with us.
The event gave participants a chance to donate and interact with students outside of their social realms.
We're trying to make it fun, instead of just bringing cans, but making people come down here, and
and get along, also like meet other people from different organizations, So it kind of, in a way, it's kind of like a social, you get to meet other students here on campus, but as well, we're doing a good deed by raising awareness.
Student Renee Covey says it's the little things that people take for granted which compel her to take part in such a charitable cause.
There's a lot of people out there who don't have small things, just like canned goods. They don't have food. You were supposed to bring like one canned good, I brought like 5. And I think it's awesome that people just come out and help.
The two organizations will be donating the collected non-perishable food canned goods to the Omaha Food Bank. For the Omaha News, I'm Felicia Mezzadou.
The community can still contribute to the cause by donating non-perishable food items to the Omaha Food Bank.
Omaha police are looking to crack down on drunk drivers this Halloween. More on that after the break.
There are some haunted houses in the Omaha area that may be too scary for children. There's one haunted house that offers a less spooky but fun atmosphere for kids to enjoy. You're watching the Omaha News on the Knowledge Network.
Coming this week on Market Journal, Television for Ag Business Decisions.
Land-grant universities are facing budget cuts, yet there are challenges feeding a growing population. This week, Ronnie Green, the new Vice Chancellor of INR, will discuss his perspective of the future of ag, how these challenges can be addressed, and the opportunities for our ag students.
Watch Market Journal, Television for Agricultural Business Decisions, Sunday morning at 9 Central Time on NET2.
Hi, I'm Meshach Taylor, actor and public television supporter, encouraging you to become a fan of UNO Television. Located on the University of Nebraska at Omaha campus, UNO Television is a unit of the College of Communication, Fine Arts, and Media. Student crew members are trained and placed in broadcasting positions that give them real-world experience. Many students move seamlessly into jobs within the local television market. UNO Television, student crew, professional staff, award-winning results.
When will you look deep into space? When will you travel back in time? When will you experience the power of red? When? Anytime. Online at video.netnebraska.org. Search, select, and share with the NET Video Player. Watch our shows on your schedule.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha is where you'll find unlimited possibilities. At UNO, our 15,000 students are learning what they need to know to join the workforce of tomorrow. With 200 programs, students participate in innovative academics and are engaged in dynamic campus and community life. The University of Nebraska at Omaha. Step up to the metropolitan advantage at bmav.com.
Sharpen your stakes and grab some garlic. Reporter Sam Petto covers America's favorite fanged phenomenon.
Vampires. They only come out at night, they drink blood, and recently they've been selling books, movies, and even cereal. From Bram Stoker's Dracula to True Blood, vamps have moved from the shadows of society into the limelight. The question is why? One local bookseller attributes it to the recession.
And I think it's because we've got a very fractionalized community that people are fearful, they're afraid of the economy, their personal safety. There are a lot of fears out there, and vampires are sort of above and beyond that.
There's no denying vampires are a popular topic. According to a Nielsen book scan, the top 5 best-selling children's books in 2010 belong to Stephanie Meyer's popular Twilight Saga. Dr. Jonathan Santo, a psychologist specializing in adolescent identity development, says the saga's popularity depends on the connections it makes with a child's thought process.
Research does seem to suggest that adolescents don't necessarily think about consequences, don't necessarily think about death in the exact same way that adults do. I think it's perfect for an adolescent audience because it hits all the right notes for them.
Now, Santo and Abbott both say that as long as your adolescent balances their fandom with other elements of life, it's pretty much harmless.
So this Halloween, if your son is looking to be Edward from Twilight instead of, well, Freddy or Jason, don't be scared. It's only natural. With the Omaha News, I'm Sam Petto.
Experts say that with the increase in vampire interest, kids are reading more.
Police officers are looking to restrain drunk drivers this Halloween. The Omaha Police Department received about $12,000 in grant funding throughout the Nebraska Office of Highway Safety. The grant was given to enhance efforts to locate impaired drivers. There will be an increase of police officers patrolling the Omaha streets on the weekend. The operation started on the 25th and will last until Halloween night.
With Halloween just around the corner, many people are looking forward to enjoying some spooky fun for the whole family. As Josh Buda reports, there is one place in town you don't want to miss.
Monsters! Behind you! There's a behind you! Ghosts! Ghosts!
Ruh-roh is right, and not even a Scooby snack could make Scooby-Doo go inside the Cobweb Castle. But those who hang around the Omaha Children's Museum ain't afraid of these ghosts.
You know, Cobweb Castle is just a really kid-friendly, fun, easy-to-digest version of Halloween.
I see a ghost!
So you're not going to find anything really scary or spooky here at all.
And if children do start to feel scared here, the Omaha Children's Museum has conveniently provided exits to the Cobweb Castle, like this one here, which leads to places that aren't so spooky. It makes navigating pretty easy if you follow the leader.
Because I'm brave. I tell you the way to go.
The safe way. For the Omaha News, I'm Josh Buda.
It's a great, fun, safe place to enjoy Halloween, the little ones. Happy Halloween? Yeah? Happy Halloween.
It's not spooky in here.
The Cobweb Castle is open during regular museum hours through the entire month of October. For more information, visit www.ocm.org.
Next week, we'll be taking a look at video game piracy and how that affects sales in the market.
Be sure to join us on Tuesday as we cover the midterm elections live on NET2. KVNO will also be broadcasting election coverage on 90.7 FM. Thanks for watching the Omaha News. Have a great week.
UNO Television.
Students work with professionals who have all kinds of experience in the industry.
Lights, camera, action. Literally.
Get paid while you learn more about the TV business.
Work on all kinds of productions.
My friends who worked on TV Crew last semester are now working part-time at local stations.
Working on TV Crew is a great experience.
UNO Television. Student crew, professional staff, award-winning results.
Big Red Wrap-Up brings you inside the game of Husker football. Join me, Kevin Kugler, and Adrian Fiala for Nebraska's only statewide sports program. We'll have analysis and highlights of Husker football games and talk with special guests. Plus, Huskers Illustrated Sean Callahan will be on hand to discuss potential Husker recruits. Don't miss Big Red Wrap-Up. Tuesday night at 7 Central on NET1 and in high definition on NET HD.
Most local television news only gives you brief headlines about issues that may be important to you. But for more than 10 years, only one program has remained dedicated to examining all the information about issues that really matter to Nebraskans. I'm Kathy Wyatt, and it's my privilege to present those issues for your consideration. Join me on the campus of UNO in a program we call Consider This, every week on NET1.